are very top. Reason number 7, it was a massive up.
Tales of wonder.
Right? Different things you do with
Iqra Kids TV.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome once again to Iqra Kids TV. Iqra meaning to read, comprehend, and to understand our beautiful world and the beautiful miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Kids, you guys, even me, I consider myself to be a kid a little bit. Well, I'm a bit old for a kid, but I have a kid at heart. And of course, TV, what we should be watching right now. How are you guys doing out there? I hope everybody is fine and well. As usual, I am busy putting together the last touches. A few glitches here and there. The last touches on today's show. So guys, sit back and relax, because here it comes.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum, guys, and welcome once again to my wonderful studio, as random as it is. Okay, we've done a nice bit of sketch, right? But if I start going over with the black magic marker, what's gonna happen? If it goes wrong, I'm gonna ruin my picture. Don't worry about that. That's part of the risk you take when you are doing things of this nature, okay? Many a time I've done a beautiful sketch. Oh, it's cool, it's really nice, got all the proportions right and everything. Start using the marker or the felt tip pen we used to use back in the olden days, right, in the 1940s or whatever, right? And then as I start using the marker, I messed it up. But that's just part of the way it has to be as an artist, okay? You have to get used to being confident in everything you do and risking messing up your work. If this was a piece of digital art, and I will talk about digital art at some point, if it was a piece of digital art, you could make a copy, save it, and work on another copy. And if you mess that up, it doesn't matter, okay? But we're not working on a digital art. We're starting from the traditional standpoint and working towards something like that as well. I mean, if you want to go straight into doing digital artwork, you've got a pad and you've got something like that, a stylus, and you've got like a pad like we've got here, and you want to go straight into digital artwork, of course, fantastic, no problem. Right, so let us do that, shall we? Now, I do have these markers, and I should mention as well, you can see it's quite sharp, okay? So we're not gonna get a thick line, but let's see how we get on for now. Yeah, so if you are, again, as I said, one idea would be to take a photo of this. I'm not sure that's gonna save it, it won't, but let's not try and preserve it. Let's just try and improve it by going over with our markers. Get me old specs on, right? So we're still gonna use the photo that we used just to kind of figure out where the lines are, okay? So we know where we're going. We're not just happenstance and not just necessarily making the same mistakes we may have made before on our paper. So I'm gonna not press really hard, okay? I'm going to put these lines in, but I'm gonna try and make them a bit more interesting, okay? Instead of just doing straight lines, I'm gonna give them a bit of character, still based on what the original is, but I'm going to give them a bit of weight here and there, and make them look like thick and thin kind of lines. Okay, now I'm using marker on this kind of paper. It's not ideal I'll be honest with you, but it's still doable. Now, the reason you see I turn the paper, I know it looks upside down, but I need to have a nice smooth line here. And my hand naturally goes this direction, so I've turned the paper that way. I'm not going to press hard. Right, like that. And I need to do the same for this line here. Okay. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay. Let's continue with the rest of his face here. Again, you know, if you have to turn the paper, normally I don't do that, but this time I'm going to do it because I don't want to mess this picture up at all. Okay, I'm trying to be a bit more careful. Now these markers, I'm realizing, yes, they are thin at the tip, but you have to still, if you want to get it thin, you have to press very lightly on the paper. And even then, because this is kind of almost watercolor paper, it is bleeding, the ink is bleeding a little bit, okay? So the lines are thicker than I thought they would be. Just a second ago, remember I was saying it's not that thick. Look at it now, okay? But that's okay. It's okay. It's gonna look spiffy, inshallah, once we're finished. Let's just go there. See, another reason for turning the page this way so that you can see what you're drawing. You know what I mean? Right? Let's draw his mouth. There. And that is black on the paper, but I'm not gonna make it black because I want to fill it in with something else. Let's do his hat. Boom. That's all right. Let's put that line in. Let's turn it a bit so we can get that line in as smooth as possible. There you go. As I'm doing it, you can't see on the television, but as I see the ink goes in, I can see it spreading out a little bit. Let's look at the back of this paper. You can see it's gone right through, and I always have a bit of paper underneath here so it doesn't bleed onto the next bit of paper there as well. So just a little tip there. But yeah, you can see it's gone right through. Okay, no problem. Not a problem. Right, let's continue. You can speed this part if you like. Oh, I just realized we didn't put his buttons in. Let's just put his buttons in now. Draw that line in there. Okay, let me turn it so you can see a bit better. Okay. Like that. Yeah, we should really have it up like that, you know. The desk could be up, but we'll sort that one out, inshallah. Put those circles in for his buttons. Like that. And let's just do that now. Oh, my bracelet is getting in the way. Oh, I'm gonna blame those mistakes on my bracelet thing I'm wearing. This thing it was a wedding present. That's a good friend of ours. The lady that introduced me and my wife together, she got it for me for our wedding. So, and I found it recently. Yes. Right, oh, let me just put the stem. Oh, there's a little flower here I forgot to put in as well. Let's put it there. And the stem goes there. Right, so let's just have a look at that. Not bad, not bad, not bad. I can see it on that monitor, so I know what you guys can see at home as well. Right, so not bad. Okay, now, I don't know if we're gonna have time to color it in. Woo! So now here comes the difficult part of rubbing out the pencil. Okay, I'm using this rubber I've got. You can see it's nothing special. It's not even branded, so it's not a special rubber. But I'm just going like this. I'm just being very gentle. Okay, I'm not going. Okay, you know why? Because I don't want to rub too hard. You might rub the black ink from the marker and it might smudge, and we've just did it, so it might still be a bit wet in places. So I'm just rubbing it very gentle like this, okay, on the part. And see, it is actually making it drag a little bit. You guys can't see that on the telly. So that's okay. All right, so I'm just rubbing it very gentle, just getting rid of those pencil lines so we can just see what we've done. Okay, I've rubbed out his eyebrows, not to worry, because I should have drawn those in before. Okay, again, you can see here, I've got so many pencil shavings everywhere, but luckily I've got some tissue. This is where it really comes in handy now, okay? Just use that, don't use your hand, okay? Use the tissue, and this look quicker anyway, okay? Use the tissue to get rid of the flakes, okay? And I'm not rubbing hard, I'm rubbing very gently, like this. Almost slapping it. Can you hear that? Yeah? Almost slapping it. Doesn't mean I want you guys to start banging the table or anything. I'm just trying to emphasize that I'm not going like this. Yeah, I could do, and that would get the job done, but as I said, I don't want to smudge the ink. And this paper is not the best paper to use for this type of markers, so I'm not pressing too hard because the paper, it's beginning to tear a little bit. Let me just check something. It's a sketch pad. It's not white cartridge. It is cartridge paper. It's cartridge paper. Cartridge paper is like the most common type of paper you can get for art things. Okay, for painting, it's quite universal, but it's not specialist. Okay, so there you go. Right, we're not going to have time to color it in because, as promised at the beginning of the show, you know, we always ask you guys to send us in your artwork.
Hi guys, I hope you're enjoying watching Iqra Kids TV. Remember, if you want to send in any of your artwork, or if you want to join Brother Khaleel on the Random Art Studio, all you need to do is send us an email on this email address, info@iqra.tv. info@iqra.tv. Send your stuff in and give us an email. We'd love to hear from you. See you soon. Bye.
You. Yes, you. Do you read books? No! No? But reading is so much fun. The first word revealed in the Quran was, Iqra, which means to read. So start reading a book today. Yes, sir!
Right, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I have got some of your artwork. Some of you have been very busy, and I must say I'm very impressed with the talent. And they've sent in artwork, not here, but they sent it on Instagram. So if you guys not been over there, go check out our Instagram page, Iqra Kids TV, very easy to remember. And people have sent me some stuff there as well. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna have a quick look at that, and I'm gonna just take you through it. Now we've got a few bits, but we're gonna do 2 for today, okay? Let's check it out now. Right, so I've got 2 of the artworks, more actually, they're all on here at the moment. And let's have that on the screen so we can all talk about it. Now the person that did this, for some reason, didn't want their name on the telly, which is fine. You know, we're going to respect your privacy. So if you don't want your name mentioned, you just want to send your artwork in randomly, of course you could do that. Now I've got it on the screen here, and I've also got it here in front of me so we can go through it. Obviously, this person is very talented. They've got some skill. They've had some experience. You can see that they've done themselves. Look at that, it's a cat. Oh, see, everything I do is reflected on the screen there, right? They've done a cat, and I think it's very good. They've used a pencil, but I don't know what kind of a pencil they're using, because the ink, the lines look quite furry, which is good because it does capture the understanding that a cat has fur and it's going to be kind of uneven lines, but it certainly has captured the feel of furriness around the neck here as well. That's good, but I also wonder, is it the piece of paper that is creating those ridges, those textures that they've used? If you use different texture paper, like the stuff that I do for the clown video, it's just standard everyday cartridge paper. But you can buy like watercolor paper, which has those ridges on it. If you look at it carefully, you'll see it's got ridges on it, which helps to create the illusion of texture, regardless of what you might be drawing. If it's a field and you want to draw some grass bits or trees, or you're doing cloth or face or hair, those ridges help to create that kind of texture because the sunlight or the light from your studio hits it at different angles. So they may well be doing that as well. I do think it's a very good job. They obviously like cats, and they haven't done the entire body, and it looked like they've spent a bit of time on the face. Considering that the face, as most faces, are symmetrical, kind of even on both sides, they've done a very good job of copying what's on one side and what's on the other side. So, and the eyes are nice and round as well. I haven't really got anything to say. It looks like they may have used their finger to smudge some of these areas here, perhaps, maybe, I don't know, because I'm not really into the finger smudging thing, but it might work for some people. It's very good, mashallah. I like that one, so well done. Now, the same person has sent us a few more. Okay, should I show you that one? This person is the same person, okay? You can see it's the same bit of paper. And look what they've done. They've done a wonderful perspective image, but most perspective images are looking head on at a landscape, and you have the vanishing lines coming up and you see buildings or a field or something like this. This is quite unique, and it shows imagination that they've drawn a perspective image, but looking from a bird's eye view, looking down upon buildings there, and they've gone into a bit of detail. They've certainly taken their time with this as well, and I can't see any of their construction lines, meaning the first lines they use to create those lines. If you know anything about perspective, you put the lines in first, and then you draw in what you want to draw, then you rub out the lines, exactly what we did with the clown. But they've done such a good job, I can't see any of their construction lines. Look on top of here, on this building here, they've got a helicopter pad. They've got these little dots obviously represent cars. And not just cars, but multi-layered layers of cars. So you can see that the bridges are crossing over each other. There's maybe a white car there. Is it on the screen? Yeah, right. So they've done a very good job. I think this is a much better job than the cat they did, because it does show a great understanding of doing perspective and detail. And as I said, look at this building, for example. They've even put a bit of shading in here, and the shading is going up and it's getting lighter as it goes towards the sun. And look at those lines, the buildings, they're very, very even. So this person has taken a lot of time making sure that the lines are clean and even. Wow, very impressive. If I was to give this one out of 10, I'd have to say 8. I'd have to say 8. The cat, I'd give the cat maybe 5. Okay. No point me being nice and saying, mashallah, it's beautiful, and I'm not going to give you constructive criticism, right? If I can think of any. But definitely, that perspective one is awesome. Now, they gave us more. I'm just going to go through these 3. I said 2, but we're going to go through 3 because that perspective one, I just couldn't let it go. They seem to have done a potato. I think it's a potato. Yeah, I think it's a potato. Or some kind of vegetable. I don't think it's the fruit. And it does touch on something we talked about here on the show a while ago, which is the idea that the light is coming from a certain direction and the shadows being cast. I know that is the most obvious thing in the world. Of course, there's going to be a shadow if there's a light in front of you. Yes, it's true, it's obvious. But to draw that, to understand how it works, is a totally different kettle of fish entirely, okay? Seeing something is not the same as drawing it or understanding how the shadow works. And they've done a great job doing that for this particular fruit, pear, whatever it is. There's a little black bit up here as well, so it's probably the top. So it's probably maybe a mango. I don't know, right? Whatever it is, but it's there. The only thing I'd say about this is that I wish they'd put a bit more detail, as much detail as they put into that perspective. I'd like to have seen that same level of detail on the cat as well. The cat seemed quite rushed. So maybe that is their thing. Their thing is more technical, more graphic, as opposed to doing things like this, which is more still life, drawing fruits of basket fruits and things like that, flowers, landscape. Maybe, well, based on what they've shown me, that's not their thing. But still, this is still very good because it does represent, I would have liked to have seen more shadow on this side as well. Because of the darkness of the shadow of the fruit, it implies that the light is quite strong. So if the light is quite strong, then the shadow on the object itself should be nearly as strong as well, to add that contrast, to give a bit more feeling of depth. Right, so there you go, guys. Fantastic. Not only did we do our little cloud picture, right, we got some images from some of our viewers who sent it on Instagram. So if you haven't been to Instagram, go over there, follow us as well. If you've got artwork, just inbox it to me and I'll take a screenshot like I did for these ones. And if you don't want me to mention your name, I don't mind, that's no problem. Right, like this individual, very modest, considering they're very talented. Definitely go over there, and this is the email address below. Not the email address, sorry. The email address is coming in a minute. The Instagram address. And if you do want to be on the show with me, and we do have some people lined up as well. So guys, thank you for all of your amazing support. We've got a bunch of people lined up. So why should you miss out? Think about it. You want to be here with me, drawing some stuff, spinning that wheel, having a lot of fun, right? Okay. All you need to do is email me on that email address, info@iqra.tv. Guys, this has been real, but I'd like to thank you for being with me, inshallah. See you soon. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. And another show out the way, guys. I hope you guys are really, really enjoying it. Now remember, if there's anything you'd like us to do to talk about on our hot topics, or any arty thing you'd like us to do on the Random Studio, all you need to do is send me an email on this address. And if you haven't been to our website, that's the website address. And of course, our Instagram. Go over there as well. Whatever you guys want to send in, pictures, drawings, whatever the case is, we're definitely going to put them on our Instagram page. But you've got to send it in first So make sure you go over there right now, guys. Anyway, thanks for joining us once again. Take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum. Reason number 7, it was a massive up,
Tales of Wonder.
right? Different things you do.
Iqra Kids TV.